Everybody wants to be an astronaut. Take the long, tall train to the sun.
Howdy everyone, and welcome back to more for the Golden Path Internationals tournament being sponsored by Unfussable Narrative. I'm your host and commentator, BlackShadow, and it is time for the quarterfinals. We have seen the end of the round of 14, crazy round of action, drama, stakes, great plays, misses, all sorts of things happened, and I, as an organizer of a competition, and just as an enjoyer of this game, I'm incredibly proud of what he managed to achieve with round of 14. And I can only hope that the rest of this tournament is going to be up to that sort of level, because it has been nuts. So today, we begin coverage of the quarterfinals. Out of the 160 players that began, only 36 remain. And there is not long left until we reach the grand final. Here's how this is all going to work out. So, there are 9 games for these quarterfinals. They're all going to be played. And now that we're in the quarters, conditions for getting through to the next rounds is going to get a lot harsher. It is just the winners and 7 of the 9 best second places that make it through to the semi-finals. 16 players, where 4 more matches will take place. The winner of those will go forward to the grand final, and the second places will make it to the runner-up playoffs. And it is between those 2 matches where the entire $1,000 prize pool will be determined. So this is a big step for the players. If the round of 14 was just about survival, now it really is about making their mark and pushing forward and staking their place in the semi-finals. Now, as of time of recording, this game, Quarterfinal F, is going to be played at the exact same time as Quarterfinal D, which is going to be covered by Cheesable, and will be uploaded onto their channel, where I'm sure we'll get it linked to our playlist as well, so you can watch both games. But both the opening games of the quarterfinals just happen to be being played at exactly the same time, which is great drama as always. So we will focus on Quarterfinal F, which is going to be featuring Badger, Roma, Fweak, and Raw. 3 players that top their groups and have made their way to the quarterfinals, and Raw, who has had to really fight and scrap their way through to get this far. But now that they're here, everyone's got the same chance as anyone else. We will start off with Badger, who has been one of the people to beat so far in this tournament, has been wildly impressive in their showing so far, dominating Group T, and in the round of 14 match, putting a very convincing performance with the Baron, a little bit far away from their normal sort of deck building style, but managing to overcome that to get through at the top of match A. So Badger has been one of probably about 3 people who have really put their claim down for this competition, and has got to be considered coming to the quarterfinals as possibly one of the favourites to go all the way here. Very impressive. Maybe even some players a little bit concerned about coming up against them, but there is going to be no mercy at this point now. Whereas maybe some of the players may have found a way to kind of find their way through the round of 14 because it was top 2 going through. Now it's only the winner that's guaranteed, so it is going to be truly cutthroat. But he's not going to have it his own way at all. While he, of course, won Group T, joining him is going to be Roma, who was initial winner of Group F. Very hard-fought group as well, before Roma managing to come through as well in the round of 14. Not winning their round of 14 match, with being match K. That was won by Ipamster, who has won 5 out of 5 games of this tournament. We'll be seeing them later on in this competition as well. But doing enough with Duke Lido and kind of finding their way in a kind of tactical affair to get through to this point here. I imagine they're going to be a bit concerned. Again, like Badger's reputation in this competition has been very impressive, and will be very conscious of this at all. But Roma's done well to get this far, and definitely deserves the spot here in the quarters. Another group winner is Fweak, who came top here at Group M. Also played very well. 2 wins, 2 second places. Very strong group performance before managing to come through match D of the round of 14. Very close match as well. Finishing with 11 victory points, but absolutely no resources under Moritani. Just about getting across the line with Twist Pickle coming through as well in the 3rd place. This is the game where Varlan went for it all with Duke Lido, challenging the Spacing Alliance against the Baron. Unfortunately, mistimed it, cost themselves their place in the quarterfinals. An incredible match, Matchy. If you've not seen it, you absolutely need to go and watch that. And last up is going to be Raw, who, as I mentioned, has had to absolutely scrap their way to this stage, but doing so pretty well. They very infamously finished with Group G at a percentage difference of really bad at Doom that was so small our table couldn't even probably pick it up. But Raw officially coming through as a 5th place qualifier, so had to go through the wildcards, which they did. They did manage to secure victory, winning Wildcard J in a rematch of really bad at Doom, which is super awesome. Unfortunately, wasn't able to catch it, but a very dominant display as Hundred getting themselves into the round of 14. But Raw, once again, having to kind of go through a waiting process. They only managed a 3rd place finish in Match L, losing to Dima and Habut, but managing to score enough as Yuna to secure a 3rd place spot. This was also the game that saw the end of the competition for Samansi, who, for 2 competitions in a row, has played really well in the group stage, and it just quite hasn't happened in the knockout stages, which is a shame to see. Samansi is a really, really strong player and great to watch. So Raw has had to qualify twice via the fastest losers point of this competition, and they've fought their way to get there this far. It's hardly like they've managed to get through by luck or anything like that. But it does mean that now I think it's going to be a real test of Raw here, knowing the fact that ultimately between 5 separate 4-player matches in these competitions, they've only won one of them, and have only just about made it through by tooth and nail. So does that mean they're going to have the kind of grit to really find their way when it's really needed most? Or is it be a case now that they're just going to get outclassed here by superior opposition? I really don't know, but this is going to be without question Raw's hardest game of this competition, and maybe it might be a step too far for them, but even if so, I think they've done incredibly well to get through the quarters considering the lineup of players we've got. So who do I think makes it through to the semi-finals? Man, it's a tough one. It's hard not to put my money on Badger. He's been so impressive so far in a lot of the competition, but at the same time, I don't think we've seen, like, Badger really up against the wall. In the games he played in the groups, he played very well, very strongly, but I don't think was always given the biggest of challenges, and was kind of a benefactor of some weird circumstances of the round of 14 games. So I think this is going to be by far his stiffest test of the tournament, and we're going to really see what it comes down to. I think, if I had to be honest, I think Badger's concern he might think going into this is that he might feel he's got the name value of the competition, and players are going to be very wary of him, and they'll be watching him very heavily to see what he does. Again, it's only the winners that get guaranteed through. 7 of the 9 best second places means you get second. You'd fancy your chances to get through, but it's far from guaranteed. Only winners know that they're through, so this is going to be a real tough game. But I have to go with Badger. I think Badger to make it to the semi-finals, and I'm going to put down Fweak as well to make it as a second place qualifier. I think it's going to be a very close game. I think it's going to be a very long game as well, but it should be a fascinating watch. Alright then, we get ourselves ready for the game, and I'm pretty sure it's the first time, at least for myself, being joined by Orski for commentary. How in the heck are you doing?
I'm doing well, thanks for having me. Excited to commentate one of these games, should be a lot of fun. Some high skill level Dune and Pyram's about to happen, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, going back from the round of 14, I mean, I'm expecting... I almost don't know what to expect, but I mean, there were so many great games. We'll see what we do. Unfortunately, I haven't got Orski's fancy camera set up. I need to sort that out one of these days. Maybe I'll remember, so apologies, everyone. Anyway, let's have a look at what we got going on here. So, row-wise, it's not too bad. Who's got first play here? Fweak does. Stort. Okay, then. So, some good cards, obviously. Guild Chief Admin's pretty solid. In the Shadows is looking ominously and is going to be highly desirable. But look at these other cards coming in. Gunfalter, Stilgar, very strong. Even Caught in Trick, I don't think it's that bad either. And the techs are pretty good too. Disposal facilities, nice, you can get it early. Detonation devices with like Stilgar and Gunfalter looks very scary. And wind traps combined as well. So there is a lot of stuff going on here. This is a very aggressive sort of set of cards and decks here. And, well, to be fair, some of the ladies are missing. There's Rombas there. No Beast, though. Baron and Tesia there. A lot of fighters
there. No Akaz, no Helena, so no snatching of cards out of the row.
Both are missing. Now, that is fascinating, because only the 4th player knows that that's the case. So, It'll be very, very easy for players further down to think that either Helena or Kaz will be in the game, and it might affect their decision making ever so slightly. But
all the faction climbers are in the game here. Tessia, Leto, Baron. I wonder if that'll affect people's likelihood to pick them. Maybe, probably not, but I would consider ranking the count a little bit higher.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate it. I would not hate it at all. I don't know. I think it's going to be a fascinating game. A reminder again, folks, that it is only the winner that's guaranteed to go through now. Some of the second places, not all of them. So I think this could be really, really cutthroat here. It is Badger to pick first in the green spot, who's got a very big decision to make here. He goes Baron early. This is very similar to what he did in the round of 14, taking Baron and kind of relying on it. Kind of getting out, does not want it to go further down the list here, but this is not going to be a fun board for him. Baron, Tezzie's going to get picked. Lido, you imagine, is probably going to get picked. I think this could be tough work for Badger here, but I don't hate the pick.
I do think it is a solid pick just to deny second turn Baron and just the strong things they can do. So it is probably more of a denial pick. And if first player ends up going for a Tessia or something, if Tessia ends up falling that far, then at least they're in position to deny.
I'm not going to lie. I think I would probably take Tessia third, thinking surely the Baron's not been picked fourth, right? And think they're only the ones. I don't know. Yeah. Lido in third. Oh, I don't know about that, because surely it's Tessia for second place here, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a bit of
it's a bold pick. They're going to be blocked from shipping a lot of the time with Tessia going before. They're probably hoping that Tessia isn't picked next, but if I'm blue here, that's probably my pick.
I mean, what else is there? Like, who else do you pick here? Ilban? Maybe? Wouldn't hate Ilban. Hunter, I also wouldn't completely hate either, but it's going to be Tessia all day, right?
Yeah, I'm 100% going Tessia here. The other options, like you said, would be Ilban versus Hundro. I'd probably go Hundro over Ilban, personally. I can't remember what cards are in the row. Ilban is a nice pick if there are some nice options there and you want to get some early persuasion.
There's a lot of fighting. Stilgar's revealed looking very, very nice. But obviously in the shadows are sitting there. The question is going to be, who's going to reveal first here? Because none of the card draws is going to be someone's early revealing here, surely, right?
I'd imagine, yeah. Otherwise, it's just very good for whoever gets for the first player. So it looks like all of the faction chasers are picked first here, so an interesting decision for first now.
Yeah, Fweak here. This is not enviable. I would not like seeing this set of leaders given the board and text here. This is all a bit awkward.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to see Ilban is going to be fighting for Mentat, and there is.
Okay.
There is
you
indeed.
do not want to be playing Ilban into a Duke Leto game, but sometimes you just got to do what you got to do.
Everyone is going to be in each other's way here. This is going to be a very complicated and messy game, I imagine. But here we go then. So Badger will be going first. Badger opting against the Fremen here, going for the Bene Gesserit. I do reckon in fourth spot, if you're taking Baron, I don't think you have to take Fremen by any stretch of imagination. I think it's well worth considering having some people on, having some different options here. But here we go. So Ilban goes first. But Ilban's got both his diplomacy cards. Tessia has drawn Hideous.
Oh, that's disgusting.
And Lido's got, oh my goodness me, Lido's got no faction access. Is the Baron going to get to Hardy Warriors here?
Looking like it, yeah.
Oh my gosh. It is, it's the mixed smuggling skirmish here, so it's not even that desirable for a lot of players. I think Baron's going to somehow get his way to Hardy Warriors and get off Masterstroke if he wants to, and he might have to. What a bizarre opening this is here. Lido hates it. Tessia hates it even more. What do you do as Tessia here? Smuggle when they early reveal, maybe? It feels bad.
I don't hate the early reveal, especially with cards like In the Shadows in the row, giving you that passive faction influence with Tessia is always really strong.
So Ilban's going to be first here. So Ilban might go... Ilban gives up fold space! What?
Okay.
And Tessia's sitting there thinking, what is happening? How does Ilban not go there? And how does she not have fold space access? She can't
Any other
believe it.
game, that is a huge, huge play just because you're giving Tessia such early interstellar shipping access, but not as big of a play in this scenario.
That is ridiculous. So Tessia has to smuggle. Lido's now wondering, wait, what's going on here? He has no faction access, so he can't fold space, and the Baron's sitting there probably wondering, what's going on here? So why is Ilman gone still suits? Like, what has motivated that move? What's he after here?
It is interesting. Maybe going for a hostage, the Great Flat kind of thing. Maybe try to get up to. I don't know. Another texture that insane either. I don't know why you would want to rush this. Maybe they want to. I don't know. Start hitting up.
It's a
selective
curious one.
breeding?
It's a curious one. I'm not. I don't know. Is he thinking like an? It can't be thinking like an early research stage. So it seems insane. I don't know
No.
what's. We'll see more from Fweak here. We'll find out what's going on. Baron is up. Baron must be realizing that the only person that's got any faction access is Ilban. So he's going to fold space it, thinking, well, is Ilban really hardy warrioring here? Like, Ilban could not have gone still suits planning hardy warriors, but now he might. He just goes wealth. Curious opening for Fweak. Curious. Tezia's going to block Lido and make him pay for his signet ring. I don't hate that. I don't entirely hate it. So if Lido wants to get hold of a chase on fold space, he has to pay his water for it. I don't think that's terrible.
I think that's a heads-up block. I think that's a good play.
I think we could see a lot of blocking here. I think people are going to really get in each other's way. So Baron has options to... he cannot hardy warriors. He uses factions to get to deployments to fold space, which I don't hate. He's got his signet ring, though. He can't use it. He's got 5 persuasion. Does Baron just reveal here?
I don't know. I don't know if I love this signet ring by Duke Leto either, just because you're catching up, but Tessia's going before you next round. They're going to hit full space first, and then they have shipping over you every other round.
Yeah, unless
you're not going to have it on your turn, so every other, so they're not going to be getting it for like another couple of cycles, pretty much.
Yeah. How does Lido get access to it? And he does only reveal. Yeah, I think it's so from Baron.
Oh, okay.
So in the shadows will go. Skill compacts the next card. That's also not bad for Baron, by the way. And he goes for it.
Yeah, I like that.
Not bad at all here. So here come the reveals. So Ilban's going to be up. Ilban's going to have to justify this early water take here. Very curious move. He has 4 to buy. A lot of good cards still out there. Gunfops is sitting there. Duncan. Guild Chief Admin looks pretty desirable. Goes for court intrigue. And Lady Jessica turns up. Oh my goodness. Well, now maybe his 2 water was a genius idea. Could see a research station.
Set up well for a research station. That is going to turn out very nice. Has the Mentat backup as well in case things don't work out.
Yeah, look at this combat as well. So Guild Chief Admin for Tezia. Lido's going to reveal for 6. Doesn't have enough for Jessica. He is short, but surely Stilgard imagines the pick here and is. Shia turns up on the row. Oh my gosh. Wow. Look at this row here. This is just violence.
We have to make him a good game here.
Yeah, where is the beast in this? It's so sad. So, a pitiful combat here. Just 3 troops in for the skirmish, but I guess they'll both be happy. Ilban gets the shipping and the spice. Tezia takes some cash, so Tezia's ready for sword mastering. She has to use a signet ring to do it, though, which means the signet ring's not doing anything. But it is what it is. Oh my god, round 2 is machinations. Wow.
Oh, man.
And now that might change Tezia's plan here, because Baron's gonna surely hit this if it gets to him. And Lido cannot get to Hardy Warriors, so Tezia, she's got to do it now if she wants it, right?
I think you have to as Tessia here. Machinations is just too good of a combat for you personally, and it's so good for anyone else that can get there. You do not want to let the Baron get off their master stroke now.
That just seems insane, doesn't it? And and the problem is his hand is such, if you deny that, she is just going to go Swordmaster. So Baron is going to just go all in with this combat here and just hope he wins it. Wow, okay. So
Roma might get in the way here.
Yeah, no, I think so. So Roma goes for it, which means that Lido is going to get to fold space, and he's going to be able to ship here. Tezia also didn't do that, so she's just going for action economy, giving up on shipping. Baron surely figures he's got a hardy warrior, right?
Yeah, 100% of the time. It's so good here. You're going to get so many bumps. You'll probably win machinations with 2 daggers behind. This is just a beautiful situation to be in as the Baron.
Bizarre opening round, but where we are here. Second place, to be fair, is not bad here. Warren 2 Solari this early is pretty good.
Yeah.
Wouldn't say no to that, but I mean, what else does Baron have here? Like, the problem is he's kind of in a weird spot where he kind of has the Hardy Warrior, and then, like, what's his second move? Well, he's not going to be able to ship because Lido's going to get there first, so I don't know. It's kind of weird, and early revealing feels kind of not great.
Yeah, I'd probably just grab 1 spice. If you need it, you can send in an extra troop with it as well.
I think
you want to hold on to the daggers for the combat, maybe if no one else decides to commit to the combat. Because he's going so late, they could decide not to. But
yeah. Badger looking at everyone's discard. Everyone looking at everyone else's discard now, trying to work out strength. The problem is everyone's strength is face up. So, like, if Baron wants to win this, he can. Outside of a Carthage trip, it's got to be, yeah. I can't see any other reason not to. So, he'll get the shipping bump off. They're going to be surprised to see the selective, the Bene Gesserit bump, but I don't hate it. I think it's fine.
Yeah.
I think I might have considered Emperor, but with Lido and Ilban in around, I guess I don't hate going with the Bene Gesserit instead. So Ilban's up here. And now we're going to see what Ilban's going to do here. He does have access to Mentat, which I don't hate. Jessica's in the row, right? And he might find a way to sneak in a second or maybe or third place in the combat, which would be pretty good for him. Do you hate...
I think you Mentat here, see what you get, and then you have the backup to Research Station. Always a solid option. If that doesn't, if you were one short, then you can always just dagger up to Tech Negotiation, save the water for another round.
Ooh, finds his diplomacy. That's a good feeling.
Yeah, so they have it if Tech Negotiation isn't taken, but...
So Tezzy's up. Sword Masters, as you'd expect.
Yep.
Don't know what Tezzy, I assume, wants to get probably to still suits, I'm going to imagine. Lido ships, as you'd expect. So here it is. So Baron's got his first decision to make here. Does he go Basin? I mean, early revealing doesn't feel great. No, he's gonna tech negotiate. Wow. So
yeah,
getting in Ilban's way a little bit. I don't hate it. 4 persuasion's not bad. So eyeing up, I'd imagine probably Gunfopter or maybe Duncan. Doesn't look bad here.
Yeah, and they don't really need the daggers. No one else has intrigue cards at this point. No one's committed any troops yet. They're on a ton of actions left. Party Warriors obviously already taken, so yeah, they probably feel pretty comfortable right now.
Apart from like some crazy draw out of like Carthage, it's like, what do you do?
Yeah.
So Ilban's got a decision what he wants to do here. If he wants Jessica, he might have to look to start going for it now. And I think he does. So Research Station the ring, as be suspected. So he's gonna have a bucket ton of persuasion. So they know that Jessica's going. That's pretty scary for the players. Tezzy is sure he's gonna steal suit here and put 2 troops in, which is what we see. So now she seizes control. Great flat. Only playing with any water, by the way, at the moment. She's going to put in 1. I wouldn't have hated putting in 2.
Yeah. I mean, it is the right call knowing yellow's cards. Because they would have just tied anyway, but...
So Leader's going to reveal for not a lot. Baron's going to reveal for 4. It's got to be Gunfopter, right?
Yeah, Gunfopter is so good. Although, if they want to go for a more water economy kind of game, they could go Duncan. I do prefer to reveal Duncan than play Duncan for the ability, but... Yeah, they go for the Gunfopter.
Goes to the Fopter. Cheap manipulation turns up. That and... how much persuasion has Ilban got? 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He could actually get G manipulation in Lady Jessica. You know, I wouldn't even hate that. That would be so huge. But he's just going to pick up some more money. I mean, that's fine.
Yeah.
So Tezia reveals for 2, grabs a liaison. Ilban's going to reveal for 9 and is going to not buy the Spiceman's Flow. I imagine it's going to be Jessica and probably just another liaison.
Yeah, that's probably what I'd go for as well. Set yourself up, get some late game Spiceman's Flow stuff going on.
Where does Ilban bump, though, with Jessica? I guess you have to bump shipping? Roma's saying, get your point.
Yeah. Baron's going before them. They already have shipping access. I don't know. I feel like they've already kind of committed towards not worrying about it. I'd be tempted to go for just get the alliance going with the Emperor track. You don't want to be sending troops there like much more throughout the game. So putting yourself 1 away is pretty nice.
I don't hate it though. If you can find a way to fold space in the next 2 rounds, you get 1 shipping and that's it for the day. So I don't hate it. Treachery, next card in the row, which is also huge by the way. So so Baron wins the combat as expected. He does bump Bene Gesserit, and he is going to push for the Spacing Alliance. I think that makes a lot of sense here. So the question now is Leto going to chase him? Because Leto can Signet Ring to instead of shipping and can surpass him. If he finds it. And I think if I was Raw, I would do so. Does he find his ring? Big draw. He does.
Oh, they do. So we get to see the play, and I think you definitely do it here.
100%. 100% you gotta do it. You smuggle with the Signet Ring, you get a bump from the shipping, and you can also use a Signet Ring bump, pay the spice in order to take the alliance away. That's going to be bad news for Badger. Did not want to see that. It was a chance. I mean, It was about a 40% that he pulls it. He found it. You got to live with that.
Yeah.
So he goes up and down for text. So what is Lido after here? Wind traps?
Probably, yeah, wind traps. I don't think you're taking.
Oh,
the
he's
mispressed.
He's pressed the wrong one. He went down.
Oh, okay.
Okay, which makes sense. I think this better. I wouldn't buy a tech here, so he will double bump with the shipping in order to take that alliance and get the Solari. Bad news for the Baron. This is the problem with being Baron in fourth spot, though. Like, you can't control your own destiny. Lino now ready for his Swordmaster. Hilbarn can't get it because he men-tatted last round, so he's paid his price for Jessica. He's going to have to wait a little bit. Baron with a pretty awkward hand here as well. What do you do here? Just smuggle the Signet Ring and see what happens?
I'd be pretty tempted to kind of go in on this combat. You have Gunthopter, you have your Signet Ring, you can hit Carthag, get 2 intrigue cards, maybe one of them's a combat one. I'd be pretty tempted to go in here. You do have to deal with Red, who has an action left and 5 troops in the garrison, so that's a little bit scary. But...
yeah. And also, if you just smuggle, it sets you up for shipping next round, and then you have no idea when your next one gets instead of shipping. So,
yeah,
maybe just set that up, cash it in, gets your Swordmaster ready, and you kind of worry about it as you go. I mean, obviously the last combat was pretty hefty, but you got a good reward out of it, so I don't hate taking this a little bit more passively. Kind of find some intrigues, let that kind of steer your game a little bit, perhaps.
Yeah. Yeah, and it gives you something to do. With your, because you want to be going to some of that more high impact spots. You can go to the city spot with your reconnaissance in the next turn. You want to be revealing the Gunthopter here, I'd imagine.
Yeah, and basically having a card which gives you a shipping bump and an intrigue, like that's pretty good value end of the day, right? Finds Cole, pretty good. So Ilbarn is going to hit Mentat as much as he can. He's obviously willing to give up his Swordmaster to do so. So playing risky considering Lito's in the game here. Lito is not going to let him get away with this for too long, surely. Or at least shouldn't let him get away for it. Off to Tesia. Tesia has a Signet Ring, so she now wants to start finding a way to some fun with the Spacing Guild, and it begins. Could Highliner be incoming here?
I think there's a strong possibility that it's coming in here. It gets you your first Snooper token. It gets you a victory point combat. Everyone else should be pretty worried now.
Yeah, Lito's got a Swordmaster, and, well, he has no water. He has no city access, so this is not ideal for him by any stretch of the imagination.
Okay, yeah, looking like the Carthag play. I think that's
Baron's gonna kind of float here. Ooh, wow. Wow. I don't think business is finished at the Spacing Guild just yet.
Nope. That's a really nice pickup, because even if they do decide to give up on the Spacing Guild, at least that bump isn't going to waste. You know, you can shift that somewhere else at least.
But you figure maybe Baron ships next round and finesses to retake the Alliance? That looks pretty,
I don't hate that at all. Duke Leto's ring is out now. It'll be a while before they redraw into it.
Lito finds his way to Hiker Basin, getting some money. I think he's off to Conspire to get hold of his Swordmaster next round, which I quite like if that's the case. I think that's actually a pretty cool little move.
Yeah.
So Ilbarn not giving him his Swordmaster. He's found his way to get it. So fair play to him. Tesia has to make a decision. She doesn't have to highline now, but as long as she's sitting on 6 spice, the suspicion's going to be there. She's going to well fit first, which I don't hate, but I mean, maybe she's using the diplomacy thinking, well, it's hard for me to get there now. Maybe players have forgotten she picked up Guild Chief Admin. Like, it's a good reveal, a persuasion and a shipping bump, but I this just reeks of prepping for Highliner here. It's going to be interesting to see how much Leto commits. He's going to struggle to commit here is the problem. Leto's got, like, steel suits and just put 2 in, I guess, and there's not really a lot he can do to stop Tesia if she wants to go in here.
Yeah.
So
heads up by Duke Leto here, playing around that. I guess they don't have a much better way to get troops in.
No, I think if they had, if they had the water, I think they would consider pushing Hardy Warriors anyway. So Baron reveals for 4, taking Guild Admin, gets 3 swords with the Thopter, does put the troop in, so he's going to get to 7 here. So he's going to charge Tesia a price, which I think is fair. And here's the lows. I think Baron and Tesia are going to clash heads, and Leto and Ilbarn are going to clash heads here. Whoa, and Ilbarn decides no, he's going to get hold of disposal facility. Wow, I thought it was looking Conspire most of the day there, but deciding against it, huh?
Yeah, gonna go for a deck building strategy here. They do have a lot of persuasion now. They have Lady Jessica. And honestly, trashing is at its best when you have one of those super powerful cards like Jessica. And there's a couple more in the row. So I actually think this can work out pretty well.
I don't hate it. Here comes the highline play, as we expected. Yep. So does get a token. So they do get the option to discard for a spice, which they do. So that is done. And they're going to... Oh, hold on. No, they've got to discard and trash, and they've got to discard again. Yeah, those are two separate effects. So that is going to be their hand emptied here. Yeah, they were trying to get it for the spice, but no, they're two separate things here. So 5 looks... I mean, it's a bit awkward, though. Baron's got a couple of intrigues. I think you put in the 6. Yeah, and does.
Yeah.
I think you can't really take
Yeah, that would have been very
here.
bold. It would have worked out, but it would have been...
Yeah, I don't think you can justify that when you've got nothing. I think you've got to play safe there. So, paying the extra cost for the Carfag point, which is good. Tezia getting a victory point in combat feels pretty nice. Lido reveals for a sword and some persuasion, but not much. Only has 3. Jamis is in the row, which looks pretty nice. Getting that early, the infiltration, knowing you can get there is really strong. Trashing's also useful, but it's a bit hard to get that off sometimes when you want to.
Yeah.
Does go for it.
Yeah, I like that pickup. No one's really threatening the alliance with the Fremen anyway, so it's pretty open for you. You don't hate going there over and over again.
Yeah, normally Baron obviously hits it pretty hard, but has not done so. So Ilban's going to reveal for 6. Gets hold of Treachery. Trashes one of his Doom cards, I would imagine, and he's going to feel happy with himself. But Ilban wants this game to go long, I imagine. He doesn't want this game to go short. He needs time for his engine to get into action here, to get the cards trashed and get his hand thinned. He's looking dangerous, but if the game ends early, he's going to run out of time. So, nothing to play here. Tezia wins the combat. It's an intrigue and a spice for the Baron, which I think he'll feel happy with. A bit of an expensive spice for Lido. Cannon turrets found for the Baron. That might well be relevant when this is all said and done.
Yeah, especially if Leto decides to go more of a combat strategy. If they pick up a Dreadnought or 2, it could be relevant.
Curious to see how Leto's going to play this as well. I've not decided. Like, Leto's kind of not really made a real statement as to how they're looking to play this game. Not yet, so they got choices. Trade Monopoly's next, which is it's a bit of a fiddly combat. I mean, it's obviously desirable, the 2 shipping bumps. I think this could get pretty fierce. Baron now has the opportunity to steal the alliance if he wants. Will he do so? I'd imagine he's going to, I would imagine... No, not yet.
Really? That is...
Not
I think
yet.
if you go for that bump, you have to use the intrigue there. Because now you lose the tempo there. If Duke Leto goes to that spot now, they're 1 ahead. And now you have to get 2 bumps if you want to take the alliance.
Yeah, that's the question. Like, is he figuring that Leto's just never go in fold space here? Is that what he's reckoning?
They're trying to get greedy and play Ixkilled Compact to fold space, but I don't think that's available to you a lot of the time here.
Yeah. Let's see. Anyways, Ilban, interestingly, also cashes, by the way, which is notable. So he's running his Swordmaster as well. So Baron's going to be in a bit of a weird choice if Leto doesn't go for this alliance, by the way. Leto might get saved here because Baron might have to Swordmaster. Curious to see what's about to happen. Tezia just picks up some spice. Tessie's hand is brutal, by the way.
Yeah.
Leo's gonna High Council?
Wow. I am very surprised by this play. You do not need to do this as your first action of the round. I mean, maybe they're worried about someone else getting there, but
now
you
Baron
gotta defend the alliance.
Now what does Baron do? Like, I mean, Baron has the Swordmaster, right?
I'd be real tempted to just take the alliance and run with it. I know you are missing out on those actions going forward, and maybe it is a little while because you have people behind you with a lot of Solari, but I mean, losing out on this first bump with it can be hard to get that alliance back, and you've already committed the bump there.
It's a curious move. I mean, you could still finesse and Swordmaster, but if Leto wants to get that alliance back, like, he can get it before you can. Like, it's very possible.
Yeah.
So Swordmaster he feels he's forced into. He's still not going to finesse.
What?
This is very curious.
Okay.
Ilban
You know what?
Mentats.
There is a world where you read that they don't have the diplomacy because they didn't go there the first time. I think this is more reasonable the second time around. But
Yeah, I think maybe he's figuring he can get there anyway. So Lido's got a chance to defend here. It'll be very important that he does.
yeah,
Very important that he does here. Back to Tezia, whose hand is atrocious. Hollow Projector's turned up in the row, by the way, as our next tech went, disposability went. Also very strong. Tezia's hand is so bad, though, and you got no troops in garrison. Like, do you just tech negotiate and grab projectors here?
I'd be pretty tempted. It is a solid tech. Puts you up to 6 persuasion as well. Not super relevant for this board, unfortunately, but you could always hollow projectors out of Dune.
And hollow
Maybe
projectors is
draw into a 2
always
persuasion.
good. Like, when it's hollow projectors bad,
Yeah.
you know, it's always good. And you do not want, like, Ilban getting that, with considering he's got, like, treachery. That's really scary. And he's going to be drawing a lot of cards, so that's super scary. I don't know. I think there's reason to get that away from him, and I think it's good enough for your own game in the long run. I think that's what we're seeing here. Does she buy a Dreadnought, though? She might be tempted by Detonation and Dreadnoughting. Oh my goodness me.
Oh, it looks like they're gonna
And that
go
is
for it.
exactly what we're
Okay.
seeing here. Tezia is bolting her colors to the mast. This is pretty bold, but that's what it's about here now. Players are going to take chances. Doesn't have to go for Detonation. Could still go Hollow Projectors. I think I still would. The problem is, if you take Detonation, that is nuclear heat you are putting on yourself. And I don't know if that's worth it. Like, you've won one
think I
combat.
go for
How
it
are
here.
you going to win a second combat? And how I don't know. I don't like Detonation for Tezia here. I think this is too risky.
I don't know. They have a pretty good economy going right now. They have 4 spice. They have 3 water behind. I think there are worlds where they get the Highliner pretty easily to take down a combat, at least one that's not as desirable, and they do end up going for it.
They are going for it. So Detonation is taken, which is huge.
Yeah.
Flagship is the next tech, by the way. Oh my goodness. Wow. And just upping the antes here. Lido has to defend the alliance now, and he does.
Yep.
Big defense by Lido here. When he sees the Baron's hand, he's going to realize what a big decision that was he just made. There's a fold space. He's already going to be feeling pretty good about this. Still suits for the Baron. He's going to look to get hold of some negotiators. Surely he's got eyes on Flagship here. Oh, he pulls in the shadows. That's a pretty
Great
nice
pickup.
find. Wow.
Yeah.
Just have a bump, on the house. 1 out of 3. Easy as you like. I don't think Baron's going to get heavily committed here. He'll put the troop in and kind of look to try and pick up another intrigue or water or something. I wonder, is Baron going to reveal and then Cole skill compact and just get 4 negotiators and look to hit flagships?
Yeah, I think that is a great time to get it rolling. Maybe you hold on to it for a little bit longer, especially if you can pick up hollow projectors, which is great with your 2 unload cards in the deck.
Yeah, it's such a... I mean, Ixkill Compact is such a great a Highliner card as well. Getting that extra firepower, that's really hard to defend against. So it is selective breeding for the Ilban. He should have trashed the card before he pulled that. I was a little bit out of order there, so...
Yeah.
But he's obviously taking the 2 of Jessica, then trashing the dagger, and then drawing more here. So players are going to be pretty concerned. That is a lot of persuasion for Ilban. And make that 12. And he's just going to finish deck out, and he's just going to try and buy as much spice. So it's all about a race against time here for the players. They know that Ilban is going to be buying pretty heavily here. And it's going to be hard to stop
Ilban's doing
him.
a pretty good job of balancing that greedy deck building with actually getting points, because they're getting their Spiceman's Flow engine going very early here, and they have 1 bump with every other faction, so those friendships are pretty easily attainable for them.
Ilban goes Carthag, finds Tacticians. Good find. I mean, I can't see... Is Tezia Vernius going to get Detonation off this early? I mean, there's no way Lido can allow this, right? He's got to go Hardy Warriors and throw everything in, right?
Yeah, you have to deny it here. It's just too good. You also get the shipping bumps, which can be very relevant for Tessia, who wants to be getting those faction influences at this stage.
Funnily enough, I think Lido actually has more firepower by going Arcane. It's 1 less troop, but he's getting 3 swords instead, right?
Yeah.
So I think if Lido wants to win this, he's got to Arcane it. Save Stilgar for the swords. You're still going to have 5 to buy, which is not bad, and there's going to be a load revealing ahead of you. So some decent cards can peel off there. That's why Tesia backs off and realizes, oh, maybe I can't win this. So Tesia knows if she puts it in, like, Lido has to go all in to stop her. So deciding to just put the Dreadnought in, kind of putting the heat off. So Lido's got choices, and now he can Hardy Warrior fairly safely and get the bump and get the water back for free. Although, you know, he still probably has to throw in all 4 here, right? Because Tesia has that intrigue, you just never quite know. Yeah, and he does.
Yeah, and that's the power of intrigues, forcing your players to play, other players to play a little bit inefficiently against you. It is a very nice situation to be in.
Yeah. So Baron gets the 2 negotiators and the bump with the Bene Gesserit here. So if Baron wants to call one of these cards, he's got to do it now because he's about to reshuffle his hand. So if he wants to get a double benefit for, like, Ix-Guild, it has to be now.
I don't know. I think I would hold on to them. I mean,
I wouldn't be trashing. I would not trash in the shadows yet. Like, I've done that before, but, like, this early seems a bit unnecessary. But Ix-Guild, I think you could go either way on it. I wouldn't hate it. But the problem is he's not trashed anything else in his hand, so it's a bit, you know, you've still got a pretty kind of rubbishish sort of deck here as the Baron. That's the problem. Baron has not, like, he's got in the shadows, and that's about it. His deck is not very good. So,
yeah, they do hold on to it.
They hold on. So Ilbon reveals for, I think that's 12. So it's going to be a Spice Must Flow, and it's going to be a Liaison, and Ilbon's just going to play Solitaire a little bit here, and he's just gonna kind of isolate himself and just buy points and get his friendships and say, all right, let's see if I'm good enough here. I don't know if he thinks he's going to win this, but maybe he reckons he can get a good enough second place to try and get through that, which is far from guaranteed. But maybe that's what's going on here. Tesia reveals for free, buys another Liaison here. So we're running out. Liaison, he's got a couple of those, which is a bit interesting. Lido's got 4 Persuasion. It's not a great deck here, to be honest. And it's why he just grabs more Liaisons. So we're basically out of Liaisons already, and it's round 4. No one's got the kinds. People just do not want to shift this row here. So it's going to be Cannon Turrets, which is going to force Tesia out, which I tell you what, she's going to be happy with that. She's going to be glad that that's gone now. I don't think that's right from Baron. I think you've got to save that because she's got detonation devices. Like, you can't... I think you've got to save that for later when she actually thinks she can win a combat, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's a tough balance. You are denying an intrigue card and a water, which is a pretty big play to do, but like you're saying, these combats later down the road are going to be very relevant, and it denies the whole point if you use it in the combat. And even if they win, now their Dreadnought isn't in there, so...
Yeah. Leo very wisely cements up his alliance, by the way. Very wise decision. Not taking any chances there. Good move from Raw.
Yeah.
We're going to move on here. But yeah, no, I mean, it obviously counter its value changes wildly when detonation devices in play here. But if I was sitting in Tennessee, I'd be like, you know what? I'm totally okay with using counter turrets there. Because now it's gone. And you know it's never going to be a problem.
Yeah, and Tesia has 3 water. I don't think they're too beaten up by the fact they don't get another water to add in there. And here we go, even more water.
Yeah, more water for the water gods here. So it is going to be Ilban up first. It is Imperial Basin. Ilban will not remotely care what this is. What's he after? I think, is Ilban... Do you just Jessica Mentat here? And just draw 4 cards? Like, no one else... Everyone else has got their Swordmaster, so you don't need to get yours anytime soon. I think Mentat, yeah. So he's going to draw 4 cards here. Ilban's just going to run through his deck again and again and again, and he's going to guarantee himself a point around. And players are going to be conscious here and realize that there's problems here. And Ilban's looking very, very ominous now.
Yeah, and one of the things about this strategy is, what are your opponents supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
This is, like you said, Solitaire. He's just trying to buy a Spice Plus Flow a turn, and hopefully everyone else can beat him on the clock, but not necessarily guaranteed.
No, it's going to be fascinating to see how this plays out here. Ilban has no endgames, though, so that's relevant. If he finds an endgame or 2, then it's just over. But he doesn't have that. So Tesia ships. Lido goes selective breeding. He took Spice with his shipping at the winning of the last combat, so getting rid of the fold space to draw. I think it was. Draws free. Back to the Baron. Baron's refound Ix-Guild Compact here, but now it's like its value is much lower than it was. So he's just going to glimpse and do some drawing here. What's he after? Great Flats or Research Station? He finds his dagger, which is not what he wanted to see. It's a pretty bad find for him here. What do you do here as Baron? Research Station doesn't look... I don't hate Research Station trying to pick up a Spiceman's Flow.
Yeah, you could also go Tech Negotiation, pick up Hollow Projector, cycle out your Ix-Guild Compact as well. That does keep the resource generation going, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, this is true. He's got the Negotiators. He's kind of decided he's not going flagship, at least not right now. Not with spending the extra spice there. So, yeah, I think Hollow Projectors and getting that for Ix-Guild, and you can just race through buying some techs in your deck, and you can use it for all sorts of reasons. Yeah, Hollow Projector makes a ton of sense here for Baron. I'm totally behind that. Dagger up there, and I think this is a good round for Baron to buy Spiceman's Flow. If Ilbon's going to go heavy Spiceman's Flow, you need to be scoring pretty regularly here, and Baron's not winning this combat. Let's make this clear. I don't think there's any way Baron wins this realistically, so Spiceman's Flow looks reasonable here. But we'll see. Signet Ring's going to come out here, which makes sense. He's going to Research Station first, maybe thinking Tezia might be interested in it. So, drawing more cards, finds Vopter, as well as in the shadows. So, tons of reveal potential here. Gets another Intrigue. Expedite is found. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it'll require a little bit of setup, but once they can set up for a pretty big turn later down the line now with that card.
Baron's got a problem here. He's got a load of cards that reveal for no persuasion. Ilban is just going to get the Emperor Alliance now and not hesitate. So he's just going to throw Treachery in and get the point. Ilban now is trying to quicken the pace. Now he realizes he's in a good spot here, so he's trying to just like get this game over ASAP.
Well, they're very close with 3 of the different friendships with the factions, which will put them up to 7. They get a Spiceman's Flow, that's 8.
Yeah,
like, they can fly through here. I think a Diplomacy play to one of these, maybe just go Secret.
Well, you go to whatever's available, really. I mean, Secrets I would prefer. But he might even go Steel Suits. Get more troops in, get a load of water for research stations, or maybe even a Great Flat or something if you think you're going to need it.
Yeah, maybe you can pick off a combat.
I think Ilban's problem is that he's going to be a very light on resources this game. And so I don't think he's going to be good for any tiebreakers. I think that's his going to be concerned here. Tezzy just smuggles and is going to ship here, which is not what I expected. Interesting.
Yeah.
Tezzy's got to decide what order she wants to start setting up her snooper tokens. What alliance is she chasing here? Fremen seems obvious. The other 2 alliances are kind of locked up, though. But Tezzy's going to feel surely the Fremen's the one to go for here. Takes the cash, I think she did. Oh, she took the spice. Lido hits Hardy Warriors. Makes sense. So Lido looking to try and get in front of him. Maybe realizing that Tezia's threatening this alliance here. Which she definitely is.
Yeah, also, it's going to be tough, though, because Tessia is also set up to grab that snooper token for 2 troops with the Signet Ring shift and get a lot of combat potential in here.
This has got, tech negotiation within the shadows here looks so juicy. Looks so juicy. I think it has to be this, right? And you just hollow project, get rid of this to get a bump somewhere. Just bump like the Emperor, I think. I don't hate.
Oh, okay. They're just going to go straight for the flagship here.
I mean, they can't take it, though. They don't have enough.
Yeah, they're just going to save up.
Well, that was the discard for In the Shadows, so...
Yeah.
I still think they should be looking to grab hollow projectors here, I think, more often than not, but... I
agree. The value just skyrockets when you have unload cards. And they have 2 of them in their deck. They're going to be able to use that like pretty consistently to great effect.
So he's going to cull it. He's going to cull this while he's at it. So now he's going to use it to get hold of flagships. Okay, so this is the other way of doing it. You could definitely do this as well. So he is going to flagship for the hard point here.
Yeah, I guess.
Which I don't hate, but hollow projectors feels a lot more kind of diverse, right?
Yeah, and what's the rush? You don't have the Solari to start making use of flagship just yet. You don't have a great way to get Solari at all, really, right now.
Yeah, and of
So,
course
I
your
don't know.
signet ring obviously is costing you money, and you don't have like a
Yeah.
lot of dominance of shipping. So maybe is he worried about Ilban here? Maybe
I
that's hurrying
guess.
him.
Yeah, but I feel like in a game like this, you were already saying you're kind of playing for first here. Playing for second kind of goes out the window when it's not guaranteed.
Shuttle fleet is the next tech here. Ilban gets his sword master. He will go to whatever faction is available. I imagine secret to be probably where I would go here. Can you imagine if Ilban found Corner Market? I mean, it'd be like, what do you do? Not a
Oh,
lot.
it'd be disgusting. Yeah.
Not a lot. I mean, we've seen crazy stuff though. Who knows? It's also as well when you see Ilban just using a liaison just to get his sword master, you know, as you do, it just tells a story, right?
Yep. I
So-
think here's Tessia use Signet Ring to Karthag. Shift to the Emperor, just get a ton of troops in here, force Leto to commit if they want to stomp you.
You've got Tactician, so if he does go in heavy, you can always retreat back. You might find some
Yeah.
cool, you find Private Army, you're feeling pretty good, right?
Yeah.
See what you find. You get a Solari for it as well. Ixion Probe is the find.
Yeah. Not
It's-
great now, maybe helpful in a future round, but they are going to go for the
Yeah.
troops here.
So they're gonna go in here, and they're gonna put leader to task. So the troops will go in. So it's gonna be 6 units in, 2 for the space, well, 2 for the garrison, 1 for Carthag, and 5 even. My apologies, and 2 for the bump. So gonna go in here, 15 strength. The question is, does leader respond, and if so, how much? I think he feels he's got to stop this. He's going to feel he's got a
Yeah.
police, and he does. Arakeen it is, so he's going to get Spice Must Flow as well while he's at it, so he can happily do this. They're going in. Stilgar's going to get the job done here. Tessia will not be able to stop this. So, leader with the police, but he's getting a victory, and he's getting a point for his troubles as well, so... Like, he won't feel too bad about this.
Yeah, no, great way to get in the way of somebody else, especially when it helps your own ambitions. So, very nice sequence for Duke Leto here.
So Baron's up. Baron is now going to use his G manipulation to get hold of some spice. He's going to go siege. He's just going to build up here. I think he's eyeing up Great Flat potentially because he figures well Tezzy's got a ship next round, so I think he's eyeing up Great Flat as a backup. Has the option to trash. Trashes his recon. Of course, he has expedites sitting around as well. Maybe he's still got intentions of some out of nowhere Fremen steal or something. Who knows? We shall see. So just keeps the garrison troops in. Ilban's got a bonus move, so yeah, Secrets looks pretty good.
Yep. Yeah, start working on those points. Okay, this is fine too. Kind of helps you with that goal of getting the other points.
I don't know. I think Secrets is going to be out of the free space. Like, who here on this table is going to forward space?
That is true. Yeah, it's almost guaranteed to be open later.
Yeah, I don't know. I think either of the other two. I think forward space. You can go whenever you have access. It really doesn't matter. I think Secrets I would have preferred, just to give you that element of kind of you don't know quite what they've got. It could be the worst intrigue in the world, but having one intrigue to none, and even maybe you go in Steel Suits just to make sure that Siege Tiber is open if you want to go like late game trying to like research station or something crazy. Like, I don't think when are you gonna ship? Are you really going to be shipping in 4 rounds? I don't think so. So,
No.
I don't know. It feels a little inaccurate. I don't think it's a big deal, but I think Secrets would have been a little sharper. So, Tessia reveals for a dagger and 2 persuasion. I don't think there's anything ready to buy here. I think your deck's...
Yeah, I think you just pass.
I think your deck's pretty big. You've got 11 cards, isn't a ton. Leto's Stilgar is going to be good here for the point. He has reveals for about 10, I think. So, Spice's Flow as well. Raw's going to get to 6. He's going to feel pretty happy. Tezia's going to... So the question is, does Tezia Tactician her troops back? That is the question.
Yeah, I think it is worthwhile. You still get the second place reward. Not that it really matters anyway, because you already have 3 water. It's 5 water. Are you even going to be able to use that before the end of the game? I mean, there will be a nice chunk of Great Flat Spice available to them if they decide to forego shipping next round. We'll see if they actually end up making that decision, but...
Yeah, that's the
know.
question. I mean, I'm unsure. They already, they went and cashed in their shipping this round, so maybe that might influence to go Great Flat instead. Baron would hate to see that.
Yeah.
Baron really wants to get Great Flat here. Gunfolter, of course, are revealed. Can put the troop in, and we'll have 5 swords for it. So do you put a troop in for a water, not knowing what Ilban's got? Probably not.
Yeah, they already have 2 water.
Well, he'd have 6, but he'd have 6 strength.
Yeah.
Baron's having a look at his discard, trying to work out what his strength is here. Worth it would put in the troop. And he is going to put it in here.
Nice denial, too. You don't want Ilban getting water here. They're very resource poor with what they're doing. So
Yeah, that's the problem. As I
the
say,
longer you can drag that state out, the better.
yeah, like that's the Ilban's weakness in this entire show. He's going to be foregoing. He's going to be very low on resources, so he's just trying to outscore everyone here. If he doesn't, like, he's in a lot of trouble. Of course, he can trash. Trashing another convincing, so he wants to keep his access cards. He's trashed both convincings, it should be noted, which is curious, but figures he's got enough power with his liaisons to not worry about it.
I don't know. I think I trashed a Dune there. What are you doing with a Dune if you draw it in the future? Like,
Not a lot.
yeah. I mean, you can go shipping, I guess, if it's still open, but otherwise you have no water. So you're just collecting Imperial Basin? I don't know.
Yeah, no, hold on. Wait to work out what they're doing with their dreadnought here. Were they putting it somewhere, or were they detonating it?
I think red one.
Oh, red one? Oh. Yeah, I was unsure there. It just took I was like, oh yeah, of course they didn't. My bad.
No, it's important to do that though, because
people forget.
You want to catch it before they flip the conflict.
People forget a lot. All right then. Anyway, so next combat is this is round 6. Last one on tier 3's Cloak and Dagger. I think this could be more fiercely fought for than we might suspect. I think that influence bump is going to tempt some people in here. I've got a funny feeling. I don't know though. It's kind of weird. There's alliances like this. Fremen alliance is looking very tasty here for several players. So I don't know. Curious to see what's going to happen.
This is kind of a nice one for Tessia because it's not one people are going to fight super hard for, which means it increases her likelihood of actually getting this detonation devices off.
Although, look at Tessia's hand. Oh, Tessia did not retreat her troops, by the way, which is interesting. I think I would have liked to see, but never mind. So look at this hand from Tessia here. Wow, it's really weird. I think she's gonna. I think Ixion Probe might be coming here to try and get some better access. Like, you've got so limited access here.
Yeah, I'd be pretty tempted to go for the Great Flat here. I actually think you need to. I don't think Interstellar Shipping is going to get it done at this point. You are far enough behind at this point where you need to be getting the point influx from the end game conflicts, and unless you can hit Highlanders, it's going to be pretty hard to do that most of the time.
Yeah, it's a big round this for Tessia, isn't it? She's got to make a stake here. But the problem is, if you put it all into the next round, like, everyone is going to throw absolutely everything they've got against you. That's the problem when you got detonation devices in tier 3s. If you are looking to go into combat, someone is going to try to stop you and will do it at almost any cost. Unless you're, like, completely overwhelming. So I think Guild Admin first. You get rid of the recon out your hand, and then you Ixion Probe, I guess. I don't know, QC.
Okay, yeah, they're going to grab the spice.
So they're going to tease the Baron. Everyone looking at Leto's discard. Everyone's curious for whatever reason. I don't really know why, but I don't know.
Yeah, this is nice. You do definitely grab the Haga Basin Spice first. And I like this play a lot. I think this is exactly what you need to be doing.
So can discard to trash, which is what they're going to do. They'll probably just get rid of, I imagine, their other dagger at this point, which is what we see. Leto's hand is not amazing. Leto's got to go Imperial Basin soon, but the problem is he's only got 1 access to shipping, so he's going to feel he's got to do it now. So this is a weird hand for Leto. Has to ship. I assume he chases the Emperor, I think, yeah. I don't hate that. But the rest of Leto's hand is going to suck here.
And they're completely out of everything now, so it makes it even harder.
Well, still seems to Jamis is going to give 2 water at least, right? So it's not too bad.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's looking kind of awkward. But they are resources at the moment, which is really a problem. Baron's hand is also unbelievably terrible, and they're going to be really annoyed at this. So I think Great Flat is forced because his hand is that bad.
Yep.
But Baron, I mean, what do you do here? It's hideous.
Yeah.
Is there reason to finesse to get your Better Jesuit Alliance to try and find a way out of this? Try and find a card, something that lets you draw. Ilban's getting absolutely everything, by the way. He is getting such a clear ride in this game. It's kind of crazy.
I know. It's kind of nice. The turns do start to play themselves when you get into a scenario like this. Like, I don't know. They're probably feeling very good about their chances right now.
Well, no one's trying to get in the way of Mentat, which is like really key to Ilbar. Like he needs his Mentat as much as the players just letting him out. He doesn't have his Eye Council, you know, and he's just being kind of let to draw pretty much for free here, which I think is, you know, he's not at Spice Must Flow yet. It must be said he's drawn both his Spice cards, so he is short, and he has no resources either. Well, he has a Solari, but that's it. So Ilban's not guaranteed to get Spiceless. If Ilban doesn't find Spiceless Float this round somehow, then it's a different game. But he's not guaranteed to find it.
Yeah, and we might end up seeing that convincing argument trash come back to bite them here. They're going to be a lot more stuck for draws now that they're so low. And luckily, they did end up drawing into their Lady Jessica. Drawing into Lady Jessica early when you reshuffle is huge for getting through the rest of your deck, and they've been pretty fortunate. I think they've been finding it almost every time here.
Pretty much every round they found it, so...
Yeah. Sometimes you can buy it, ends up being the bottom of your card of your deck, which feels terrible. So it's been working out kind of nicely in that regard.
Every Orski stream I've ever been on.
Yep.
So Tezia's up. I think Tezia's got to consider an Ixion Probe here. She's got to at least think about it. She's never buying Spice Must Flow. And you've got access to not a lot. Is Shuttle Fleet an option here for Tezia? It's a bit late, but it's 2 bumps.
Yeah, and it does start working on those last 2 snooper tokens. I wouldn't love the Ixion Probe play here just because you're so dependent on being able to get to Highliner next round. I don't know how many cards they have left in a discard. If they
Just
know
the
that Diplomacy's coming up, then it's fine. But if it's not, then I think I would probably be holding on to the Ixion Probe. So, okay, so it is guaranteed then. So they can use it here. But then you draw your Diplomacy, which is terrible.
Yeah, so a bit awkward here. I don't know. I don't hate tech negotiation and getting... Like, Tezia's, like, kind of really low influence game. Shuttle Fleet is a way to kind of... It's a bit expensive, but it gets it done. And I think that's the thing here. I think Tezia's at a point where you've got to get this done. You are behind, and you've got to pay for now, and you've got to pay to catch up a little bit. You could even go and get your second Dreadnought while you're at it. Like you're not doing a lot with your money at this point.
I actually think you just do that. Yeah, I like that play a lot.
Dreadnought, get Shuttle Fleet, get those 2 bumps, and then you're just threatening stuff. You're threatening alliances, you're threatening bumps. You're threatening all sorts of things here. I think it's what Tezia's got to try and do. She's got to give herself as much chances going into this next combat. She needs to set up for tier 3 and highline it. But the problem is that Baron is going to have first crack at Highliner if he draws his card, and that is a problem.
Yeah, and the thing is, you can't really get the Shuttle Fleet here because then you can't afford the Highliner next round. And that's kind of Tezia's win condition here, is getting a bunch of late game combat wins.
Yeah, so this is a problem. Tezia is in trouble here.
You definitely don't draw here. You could go for the Intrigue card. I think this would probably be a good time to start fishing for those. Just go to Carthag. I think that and getting the Dreadnought would be solid round.
It's awkward though. Like, in theory, like Plans Within Plans is great, but are you really ever getting a Plans Within Plans point here?
Probably not, no.
So I don't know if it's as much value. And I think that's what we're going to see here. Now, let's make this clear. If Roma does this, they are putting their destiny in their own hands here. Let's make this very, very clear. This is far from certain to work. But
I don't love the Dreadnought play first, just because no one else has the Solari to go there. It's a guaranteed action next round. You want to be doing what you're doing with your, like whatever he's planning on doing with a second action, he should be doing here.
Unless Tezia is going to bomb this combat as well. Is she going to go for every? Is she going to hope to get this combat and do it now, figuring that when it comes to tier 3s, like it's just they don't think they get into the Highliner often enough. I think that's the case here. I think they're going to go for this one by the looks of it. So. Here we go then. So Dreadnought taken. It will be Shuttle Fleet, surely. Maybe Holo Projectors? I wouldn't hate Holo... They don't buy anything at all. Just the Dreadnought.
I think that's the right call.
Well, here we go then. So Tezia is saying, Highliner incoming. Baron's going to have something to say about this, though. Lido with a quite important block of tech negotiation. That makes Ilban's life a little awkward now. He is short. He's only at 8. He's far from guaranteed to get hold of Spiceless Flow. He might just the Jessica Arakeen and just kind of see what happens here.
Yeah.
It's not what he wants. He wants to go to Secrets and get the point with Jessica that way, but you might not find what you need. Like, that's going to leave you to find 4 persuasion and 2 cards. And he's been buying a lot of cards, but he's also trashed a lot of cards. So Ilban's kind of... It's hard for him to get everything here. And if he finds the diplomacy, he also wants to use it.
Yeah, and this can end up being one of the problems with Ilban. The Mentat has fueled them very well up to this point with getting Spiceless Flows and kind of cycling through the deck, but now they're getting late in the game. They don't have that high council seat for the consistent persuasion. It becomes much harder here to fuel that Spiceless Flow engine now.
By the way, everyone, we just missed the Baron's revealed because he has no local spaces to go. We just completely missed that.
Oh, yep.
Ouch, indeed. So, yeah. I guess Baron was hoping to go Shuttle Fleet, maybe. I don't know. Well, anyways, so it is Jessica to Arakeen. He's not drawn great. He's found his Dune card. There it is, that pesky Dune. He is short. He's not there yet. Ilban maybe getting just a little worried here. Has 7. Has the fold space to help draw, but still not there yet. Carfag it will be for Tesia, so she's going all in for this.
Yeah. Honestly, as long as Imperial Basin open, Ilban will be fine this round. Oh, an urgent mission pickup. Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. That make her feel a lot better. She can't use it now, but I mean, there are worlds that could be pretty fun. I think Tessie's got to just gun this, right? I think.
Yeah, everyone else is very resource poor. Obviously, the Baron has the Highliner Spice here, but
if Tessia's,
otherwise, all the garrisons are empty, so you might as well.
The thing is, if Tessia is not putting the troop in, she's saying she wants the next combat, and the problem is that Badger is first, and Badger almost certainly finds diplomacy, and surely he's going to be eyeing up Highliner himself, thinking he's got to stop Tessia. So here we go. The fun begins. Leto will go to Steel Suits, gets a point, 2 water, gets to trash something, which he'll be happy with. Ilban's still got 2 actions to go by, so I'd imagine it's going to be secrets. But he now has no access to Steel Suits. That's been blocked. So
it's going to be Imperial Basin to selective breeding here. Get your Spiceman's Flow, trash. So they should be able to still hit it.
Maybe. I don't know. I think he might be tempted by the intrigue. I think he's going to be tempted by the intrigue here. But I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think I giving
agree.
up the Spiceless Flow is too big.
I think I agree. And of course, the more Spiceless Flows the Ilban draws, the harder it gets for him to buy more of them because they're now clogging up his deck.
Yep.
So he's got a decision to make here, but he's only got 7 persuasions, so it's kind of iffy. If it was 6, you'd feel you've got to draw. If it was 8, you'd feel pretty safe. 7's kind of that weird in the middle, don't quite know which way to go sometimes. I mean, I do agree. If he doesn't go Basin now, I don't think he's ever getting there. And he's so down on resources.
It's kind of nice because he's guaranteed the spot. No one else has any actions left at this point.
Yeah, that you know of. So, yeah, Basin...
Oh, that is a good point.
Basin selective is just 2 points on guaranteed, right?
Yep.
You'd feel it'd be guaranteed. So, gonna grab it. Leto gets a spice out for his troubles, which he will not complain at. Says he reveals for 2. I don't think she'll buy. Leto's going to reveal for 4. I'm not sure he's going to buy either. So Ilban to selective it is. Unless he decides he's going to get greedy and go secrets. Which I think they are seriously considering here. I don't think it's right.
Oh, that's so greedy. Yeah, but that's actually, yeah, there's no way.
I don't know. I think they haven't also gone selective here. I don't know. I think they're thinking about it. Wow, they're going to diplomacy the selective breeding. They are trying to cut corners here.
That is greedy, yeah.
They are trying to min-max this, but I think you just got to take the point, right?
Yeah, you got to use the fold space.
Yeah, just got to fold space and not take any chances here. I think that's the correct way here. So he'll draw with fold space, and he'll trash one of the Spiceless Flow cards out to draw 3, and just take the 3 point. Take the 3 cards. It's the no other way to do this. Oh, he's actually out of cards. He's actually out of cards. He cannot draw 3 because he didn't have 3. His entire hand's out in front of him. Bizarre. Which is interesting. Let's do a count here. So 5, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12. They've got 14 persuasion in their deck, which is... The problem is your deck is now so thin. I think it's really hard to buy more Spice Must Flows. Unless you get Jessica immediately, how are you finding a Spice Must Flow now? I think Ilban could be in trouble. If he doesn't find Jessica immediately, I think he's in trouble this next round.
Yeah.
So
They don't have the Mentat Solari either. They are going to be in a tough position if they don't find that Jessica. They've been finding it, so
yeah.
if they keep running hot, it could be fine. But
so Tessia wins, finds War Chest, finds Ambush, loads of combat potential here. But the problem is Tessia now is in trouble. She's actually at risk of secret stealing, and she goes last this next round. So secrets look super juicy for everyone now. Ilban finds Poison Snooper, so that's a huge fine for him. Like, that's probably getting himself out of trouble here. Baron also found whatever, and it is Arakeen first. Ilban does not find Jessica. It's not there. So Ilban's gonna sweat here now. Tessia's gonna sweat as well. This is very nervy. So here we go. Big round 3 now. Arakeen is up. It's 2 victory points. Second place looks pretty good as well. I wouldn't hate it, but it's all about the win here. Tessia only won with firepower, but at desperate risk of secret stealing. Does Lido go there? Does Baron go there? Baron's secret stealing looks really juicy here, right? Gets his alliance as well. Draws 3 intrigues, basically. I think I'd be hitting that a lot of the time. But it's weird, though. If Baron wanted a highline, he's got to do it straight away, though. Because, of course, Tessia wants to get there, so... Wow. And Duke Lido has not drawn shipping access, so he has to go research station first, which is not what he wanted. So what does Baron do? Does he highline? Does he secret steal?
So this is kind of a tough scenario where in a game where you have to win to get through, it's kind of tough, but you need to find a block on Ilban. I think going to selective breeding here could be pretty relevant because if I mean, they don't know if Jessica was drawn or not, but let's say Ilban did get a bad hand and has a diplomacy like they do now. Selective breeding is their out.
It's automatic. Like, they've got no other choice. They have to do that. Yeah, no, I mean, it would be mortal. A real problem here if that's what he does, but I don't think he's going to find it. I don't know.
No, it's a very tough. I don't think I'm finding it, honestly. I think you want to be going Highliner so bad. It's a 2-point victory. You don't want to let Tessia get the Dreadnought combat point in, but they're so far behind.
But it's really
tough,
awkward.
and you can always do it later.
Baron's got his Thopter, but he's got nothing in Garrison. And the problem is, if you don't highline, you figure Tessia probably does, right?
Yeah.
But he also wants
I don't
to
think they're
ship.
gonna find it, but
I think he also wants to ship. Is he going to ship to get his flagship ready and just take the cash? He's got expedite. Think about it. He's going to expedite and use for the troops to get flagships and throw everything in one big go here. Wow.
Yeah, it's just too slow though. The only downside. Like, they'll get a lot of points this turn, but it won't be enough to stop Ilban, I don't think.
Oh my goodness me!
But
he hasn't got an alliance yet. He hasn't got it.
Yeah.
He's not there yet. So, but now he's up for secret sealing, and now Baron's now got to expedite here. He has to do it on the spot. He wanted to keep this for later, but he's got no choice now. He's got to throw it in. Although I think I would be suspicious of an expedite with this move anyway, so I don't think it's that big a deal.
I would have been tempted to just throw the finesse out there now. I mean, it's not ideal, but that expedite could have been used.
I think
pretty powerfully.
I think he's keeping the finesse for the swords at this point. I'm not sure he's using it
probably.
for, which is kind of insane. But he can but surely he's got to just shift to the Emperor and just get a point that way. And I imagine,
oh yeah, yeah. I forgot they have the extra guild faction influence. They're not really doing with much.
So I think that's probably that. So, but then they can just get the bump with it now.
Yeah, I would have been tempted to do that and save the expedite, but
they do. Wow. So that is pretty bold. I mean, I don't.
Now Ilban has the selective breeding, get Jessica, go secrets, get the alliance, and that will
Mentat
end
now
the game
as well.
if no one gets ahead
I
of them.
mean, yeah, this could well be the last round. So Snoopit's going to be trying to find Jessica. It is not. That's a bad find for him as well. That is not what he wanted to see, but he'll keep it. He's never trashing whatever it is. So recon it is. So he has 5 persuasion. He's gonna Mentat first. Okay.
Oh,
Signet
yeah,
ring,
critically.
no.
the Baron's
it's still
collection
not there.
gave them the Mentats Lari.
Yeah, it's still not there. Tezia's got a secrets or highline. It's highline it is, so she's gonna get in now. Can't risk it any further, so all in here. But Baron's gonna have a ton of firepower as well. Secrets is still sitting there, by the way. Tezia's surely got a... The problem is Tezia... Wow, Tezia's not even concerned about secrets. Absolutely not terrified. Insane. Lido's going to tech negotiate with his dagger. That was very laggy. So he's going to cash in for Hollow Projector? I would guess.
Yeah, it looks like it.
I think he's having some lag here. Doing some maths here, but yeah, I think the Wind Traps is doing nothing for you, right? So I think Hollow Projector's fine. Yeah, it does grab it. I think is totally okay. Sonic Snoopers is next, which is not irrelevant by any stretch.
No, very big. Especially there are a lot of intrigue cards floating around right now.
So what does Baron do? Highliner's gone.
It's got to be the selective breeding. You just got to block it. You can't let Ilban get there. I mean, at this point, you probably have a suspicion that they probably drew into their Lady Jessica, but in this exact scenario, they didn't.
Yeah,
and they don't have the Spice.
If they don't get the selective breeding, they're in trouble.
Yeah.
They're in real trouble here.
I don't think the selective play in and of itself does much for Baron. I mean, it does get you the Alliance, which is nice, but you actually don't really need the card draw. It's definitely, it's a block.
Yeah.
You're just trying to block.
The problem, I think, for Baron as well is if this game ends this round, is the Baron winning this round? I don't think he is. I think he needs this to go. He needs this to go longer here, surely. Which is a weird thing for the Baron to say, but that's the position he's in here. Baron's in
How many
real
cards
trouble.
does Ilban have left?
Ilban's only got 2 left. So Jessica.
Oh, okay. So it's a 50-50.
He's got Jessica. He's got Jessica and his liaison are the 2 cards.
Yeah, so they have the Arakeen at least. Well, so yeah, I mean, I guess Lady Jessica doesn't really. I mean, you're getting the persuasion from it.
Yeah.
But...
Well, they've got 7 persuasion. So if they were to go Arakeen and not draw Jessica, they're still short. So it's a coin flip. Tech negotiation is blocked, so... But if Ilban can get to selective breeding, then he doesn't have to worry about it. He knows he's good for that 9th point. It's not even a concern here. A lot going through Baron's mind here. It's a big decision. It's kind of... It's not fun to selective breed here. Like, you kind of don't want to, but I don't know. What else are you doing here? Like, he really wants to go in Highliner with flagships. But the thing is, he also needs his alliance for Allied Armada, right?
Yeah.
And the problem is like, if you don't go selective breeding and or secrets, you might never get there. And by might, I mean you probably never get there. Unless you reveal in the shadows. Maybe he's considering highlining and revealing in the shadows to get the alliance that way. And then flagship and Allied Armada and just try and win it now.
Yeah, they are blocked at high. You're saying Highliners?
Oh yeah, of course I am. Sorry, yeah, it's already gone. What am I talking about? Yeah, this is the problem with the speed. But flagships, he's got flagships, so he wants to throw those in. He could Hardy Warrior maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they're winning this combat now. I think.
It is the secret.
They're gonna
steal.
go for the secrets play.
It is the secret steal. So he draws 2. He finds blackmail. He finds recruit mission. He finds 1 from Tezia. Yep, one is enough, Badger. You don't need to shuffle 20 times. He finds the urgent mission. That's not bad.
Okay.
That's not bad. And he's going to sit and think, wow, what on earth did Tezia still have? Now that has changed things now. Now he's got urgent mission. That might open up some options for him, which he didn't have. That is most interesting here. Recruit mission is also found, which isn't relevant. Ilban's going to get his 9th point with the selective breeding.
It's kind of awkward though, because now they can't get the Fremen point.
Yeah,
so
if they had
know
Jessica,
if the game's going to end now that this is played out this way.
Yeah, if they had Jessica, like they could possibly just end the round, but now they can only score 1. They've got to take either steel suits or they have to take selective breeding. They can't score 2. I don't think there's any way for Ilban to score 2 points here.
Oh man, I'd be pretty tempted to. Okay, so they are going to go for the draw.
Oh, he doesn't find it. Oh, he's short. He's missed it.
Oh wow. What I was gonna say is I'd be pretty tempted to just go to Still Suits, get the point, and then you're guaranteed to draw Lady Jessica for next round and get the victory point, because I don't think you're ever finding 2 victory points this round.
Oh, maybe just thought I just have to find Jessica. It was bottom of the deck, and now Ulban's in trouble. And now if someone goes Still Suits, Ulban's all of a sudden not loving life at all here.
I know. We were talking about how lucky their draws were, and here we are. Bottom of the deck, Lady Jessica. Unfortunate.
I mean, it has to happen eventually. And the thing is, it feels so bad. Going selective breeding, spending 2 spice to draw 1 card to get a point feels hideous.
Oh, it's disgusting. Yeah, they're just going to hope that Still Suits is still available, I think, and just set up for the Lady Jessica next round.
Yeah. Like, he's hating his life here. Tezia's up, by the way. So Tezia still feels she has to win this combat. She's got a load of swords, but so does the Baron. So how does Tezia approach this? She still needs to get her points from the other faction. She's got a bonus bump now with the spacing, so she can definitely get a Fremen point. Can Tezia end the game this round? I don't think there's a way to get 5 points here. She can get 4 if she wins and gets the Fremen, but I don't see 5. And Tezia would love to end this now, because next round looks really awkward for Tezia.
6 water.
6
That's
water.
the problem with water. Sometimes you just drown in it. You have too much. I mean, it'll be fine if they can get to Research Station next round, which they probably should be able to, but...
Does Tezia just go Great Flat? With, it's like Signet Ring?
The problem is... You might as well start spending it.
I mean, it's so weird. I mean, you've just got to get this Fremen point, right? You feel?
Yeah, and if you hit the Haga Basin and the Great Flat, that does set you up for another Highliner next round, which could be relevant.
Yeah, because Baron may not get there. Baron is going to be drawing his deck, and it's kind of large, and it's not got a lot of faction access, so you might find double Highliner.
Yeah, they trashed their X-Guild Compact, so that's another Highliner source out of the way.
Ixion Probe now.
Oh, I would have been real tempted to save this. I'm not sure what they're looking for.
Yeah, that's the thing. What are they looking for? Yeah, that's the problem.
You don't want to draw into your guild chief administrator, because that's Highliner access for next round.
Yeah.
And now they're getting rid of their ability to collect spice. I mean, you have so much water, you might as well start dumping it on spice.
Well, let's see what they find. Well, they found Recon and Convincing. I don't know what they were looking for, but I can tell you that isn't what it was.
Yeah.
Very curious.
Yeah, I think that was a slight miss there.
Maybe. Oh, no, I think what's going on. I think they're scared that Baron's got urgent mission and he's going to re-secret. I think they were slightly scared of that, which is why they were Ixion probing, just to protect their current cards, maybe.
Yeah, I just feel like the cards they have aren't... You don't feel that bad if one of them gets stolen. It's not like you have a plan within plans or something. Sure, it sucks giving up the one of your combat cards, but I don't know.
Most curious.
I think I might just let them pluck.
Yeah. But the problem is, they feel that their main... If they lose one of their combat cards to green is their main competition, you'd think, in this combat, right? And that would not feel good. Like, if they lose ambush, that's basically an 8-sword swing. That's probably too much, sort of thing. So
that's a good point.
So I don't hate it. But now Tezia...
Although, does the Baron even have another source of Bene Gesserit in their deck to go secrets? I don't think they do. I don't think they picked up any other access cards. Which obviously requires a lot of tracking, but...
I don't feel like they have. I could be wrong.
I don't think so either.
But I'm not particularly... I couldn't be sure without looking.
Tezia, then you wouldn't need to be worried about the re-secrets play at all.
Yeah, and again, now Tezia's like, again, she's drawn to protect fine, but now she's still in the same... I think you've just got to go Great Flat and pick some spice up here. Like, I think you've got to use the 6 water. And you just shift away... and maybe you don't have to go Fremen. You could also go for the Bene Gesserit and try to get both. No, she's gonna go Carthag.
Oh, why go there with your ring? You have your reconnaissance and your liaison. And okay, there we go.
Yeah, realizing so got to keep the access here. But now players know they've got the ring, which isn't great. They find Refocus, which I tell you what, they'll be not unhappy with. They look immediately in their discard pile to work out what it was. That might give away what they've seen there. So Refocus immediately. So they're going to draw again.
What are they trying to get here?
Well, they got their dude. They got their dude back.
That worked out, I guess.
Well, no,
but they can only collect one spice for the rest of the turn.
Yeah, they've got the signet ring. So a bit of a weird turn this for Tessia. A lot of meandering.
Oh, man. Because now your guild chief administrator is shuffled in with the rest of your deck, so you're much less, and you're gonna be getting rid of your diplomacy. I don't know.
Oh my god, this is to be the last round? I've just completely missed it. Leader's gonna get 2 victory points here, and he's gonna buy Spiceless Flow. This is the last round. He's gonna get the bump there, and he's gonna chase with the smuggling. And that's it, and he has 9.
I missed it too.
Everyone's missed
I've been so distracted with Ilvan and Tessia.
Oh, this is terrible news for... Wow, and suddenly, this is terrible news for Tessia. This is going to be the last round. And I tell you what, Ilban's in trouble right now. Ilban is probably going to get to 9, but he's, as you've mentioned, Ilban's got no resources. Now, we saw that early on, like, he's going to go resourceless and just try and outscore people, but he has not found Jessica, and this game is about to end, and I wonder if he realizes, he's like, oh boy, that does not look good. And you know what? It doesn't. The power of the signet ring for Duke Leto in shipping is ridiculous. We've seen it twice.
Oh my god, yeah.
We saw the alliance deal. Now we see the double victory point for the friendships. And I think the players are now looking, thinking, oh my goodness. I mean, if I'm Baron, I see that. I think this game's about to end.
Yeah, 100%. That is absolutely brutal. I was not paying attention to that at all. No. And that's why we talk about Duke Leto's ring being so powerful. Plays like that. Now the game's ending out of nowhere. That's a 2 victory point swing. Just one axis. I mean, we talk about blocking plays. That would have been a good one to block, but
unless, is there a way for the Baron to take the Fremen Alliance? Is there any way in the shadows, finesse?
Yeah, there's no way. They would need 3 bumps.
They'd need something else from somewhere. They've already cashed in 1 round of shipping. I think if they might have found... Can you imagine if they'd found, like... Oh, no, they wouldn't be able to do it, though. Smuggling and shipping and then cashing... No, that's not an option either. So Baron's in trouble here. Badger's got to get out of this. He's got a million swords if he wants it, but he's got no troops. Like, Tessia's got a lot of strength here. And that's not even accounting her intrigues. Is Badger's race run here?
Wow, I'm really trying to think if there is a way for the Baron to steal this alliance. They have 2 bumps, but the thing is their diplomacy is on the field, so there's no way for them to get back there. I don't think... I mean, here's the thing. You probably, I guess, just go fishing for intrigues. You urgent recall, play your... Well, no, yeah. They didn't even go to Carthage. I don't know. This is tough.
They could... Dreadnought and Sonic Snoopers.
Sonic Snoopers, yeah. That's
and just shift out a million intrigues and just, like, get rid of those and try to find some. But there's so many... You're looking for... What are you looking for? For
the Bene Gesserit bump intrigue card.
Or bribery.
There's also the one that you can pay Solari
or
for.
bribery. In the shadows... not in the shadows. The quid pro quo is no good because you have to visit the space. You can't get there.
Wow.
Wow. Badger is all of a sudden out of nowhere is like... This is crazy. Tessia feels pretty comfortable here. The problem is that I think Tessia's out. Like, Tessia's going to get like 3 points. But it's not going to be enough here. And I think they perhaps realize it's not enough. They can shift for the Fremen's going to get them to 9.
Man, I really want to see this Sonic Snoopers play from the Baron here. Go there with your In the Shadows, discard a card, take your bump with the Fremen, and just pray you draw the bump you need.
But it's
not. They have a ton of intrigues. It's not like impossible here.
But loads of them are good though. Like Tiebreaker, I think is really relevant here. I would not want to get rid of Tiebreaker. No, Chalmurky's not out. I think Tiebreaker is really important here. You're going to use your Urgent Mission. You're going to use your Allied Armada. Finesse, I guess you don't need anymore. So you could get rid of that. Recruit Mission you don't need. Finesse could be used to fund blackmail. But no, you couldn't even do it. You're giving up a victory point. So, yeah, blackmail is awkward. Like, oh no, you can blackmail the Spacing Guilds. That's 5 swords. I don't know. It's hard to know what you get rid of. Blackmail, I think, has to stay. Tiebreaker's got to stay. Allied Armada's got to stay. Urgent Mission you're using. So you
gotta get rid of Tiebreaker too. You need to find it. It's tough, but if the game doesn't go on, then you're in 3rd place. And they have 6 spice, so they are already doing decently well on the tiebreakers to begin with. Obviously, they would be going Highliner next round if the game can go on, but
yeah,
They're thinking a lot here.
Badger's
like that they're
got,
thinking for so long.
this
It's
is-
going to take a while to find this play.
Yeah,
But actually, it is their only out, I think.
it's a tough spot, and this is an absolute key moment for Badger here to try and find. Badger really wants this game to go on. The problem is it's not going on. Yeah, he realizes he has to find at least 2 points minimum right now. So
Yeah.
if he
this
goes,
is the thought process they need to get down to find this play. So it's good that they're at this stage.
but the problem is how do you win this combat? Let's do some maths here. So he's got, let's say, the 2 troops. Just at the moment, he's got 2 troops. This guy, say if he went to siege, for example, so that'd be 6 strength plus Gunflopter's 9, Adamada's 16, Tiebreaker's 18, Finesse is 20, Blackmail is 25 strength. Does 25 strength look like it's enough for this finish? Like, not having any idea what Tezzy's got, is 25 enough?
I don't think I'm going for it in their shoes. I don't think I'm going for the combat. Tessie has 3 intrigues behind. They have so much combat power in already. I don't know. And even if you win, you still lose. You're not getting first. And that's the thing about this. The fact that you need to actually win the game. If you were going for second, I think that's fine. But in this exact scenario.
But I don't know. The problem is, how does Baron score heavily without winning this combat? I think he might.
They would have to let the game go on another round and then win the next combat.
But they know it. But they know it's not going on. If they
take the alliance, then it does go on.
Well, I mean, this is true. If Baron could find an alliance still, then the game would go on, because Ilban can't score 2 points. At this point, he's not even scoring 1. Notice Ilban's keeping pretty quiet here, by the way. It's noticeable. But Leto's pretty sure the game is ending, and at the moment it is, unless something crazy happens. So
yeah, I mean, I guess it's also hard to figure that Ilban can't get 2 points here with the Fremen unoccupied. That's a tough
you would think almost certainly he's going steel suits and is getting a spice muscle, you would imagine. As it turns out, he can't. It's the one situation where he can't actually finish it. So stopping Duke Leto would actually prolong this game, which is insane. And everyone have like 9 points going into the final round, and it would be like amazing. But I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, it's tough because this is the only scenario where they do have a chance of winning, so they need to play into it. So here it goes. Come on, do it.
Here we go.
Oh, they're doing it.
Here we go.
Excited. This is why we're here in the late stages of the tournament.
So he's going to get Shuttle Fleet, and he's going to steal it this way instead.
Okay, this is huge. Okay. We both overlooked this. It makes it harder for them to win the next combat, but...
He's going to triple bump with Finesse.
Oh, this is huge.
No, he's going to steal it from Fweak.
Oh.
Oh, if he sees from Fweak, though, I mean, that's mortal.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God. He's got to reckon who's ending this game. Does he think it doesn't matter? He must think both players are going to finish this. And it doesn't matter which one it is. But if he stops Leto, then the game will go on. But he can't know this.
It is so tough here. It's so tough to know. It is honestly a guess.
Oh, my gosh.
Either of them could be not there.
I think he's going Emperor.
Leto could easily not be at a Spaceman Slow right now.
I think he's going to go Emperor because he thinks he's going to get more troops in. That's why he's going Emperor.
They are going for it, yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I don't blame them for this play at all. I think this is totally reasonable.
Duke Leto dodges a bullet, and I think Ilban, I don't think he's going to be able to recover now. I think Ilban's out. Oh my God, what a decision. Spice Satellites is next, but no one can get it. Wow. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. He gets an extra bump because of Shuttle Fleet, gets his money back for flagships, and urgent missions coming, and Tessia knows it, so Tessia knows she has to put in more troops. The Baron is going for absolutely everything here, surely.
Yeah.
Absolutely everything. So Tezzy's got to continue to fire in. I think it's now Siege to get the Fremen bump now, I think. Tezzy might think it's over. Wow, that is nuts. What a horrible spot for Ilban for that to happen. How can he recover from this? I don't know he can.
Where did Baron take their bump down with Finesse?
He went down with shipping and then went back up with the Spacing Guild to get the money back for flagship.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And he's going to recruit a mission. And he's going to urgent mission now because he's scared of some... in case someone's got infiltrating to secrets. So he's going to do it now. I don't see how Ilban recovers from this. I think Ilban is dead in the water now, which is insane.
Yeah. Was the Baron at 2 influence with the Emperor track when this whole play started?
Yep, 2. Triple bumped it.
How did they get They got a bump from In the Shadows. They got a bump from Shifting, and they got one from the tech buy.
Yeah. So that's 3 bumps.
Yeah, but wouldn't they have needed to shift down somewhere else for the? It doesn't matter, I guess. But
no. That they only had one. They only had 1 down for finesse, which they then got back with the shuttle fleet.
Oh, yeah, okay, yep. Forgot it was.
So Ilban just takes the Fremen point. It's all he can do. It will be spice for Tezia. Tezia's thinking about tiebreakers right now. Maybe she figures she's just got to go all in. She cannot get the Solari for the war chest, which is crucial. It's really bad, yeah. So it's a point for Tezia. This has been a dramatic game.
This has been a awesome round here.
I have no idea what's about to happen. I do not know who's going to win. So Raw's at 10. I think Raw is good here. Here comes the Gunfopter. Just going to throw troops in. Interestingly enough, does not go to Siege. Why did he not go to Siege? I would have thrown in more troops. Like, that's kind of weird. Why did I do that? Am I missing something? Like, you got Tiebreaker. He must be thinking he's going to be using Tiebreaker, I guess.
Yeah, they want to probably turn on Allied, whatever. I can't see it. It's
of course, Allied Armada didn't have the spice for Allied Armada, of course. Yes, you are correct. Yeah, apologies. So Ilban has one more move, and I don't think there's anything Ilban can do about this. But I don't see how Baron's winning this combat. I think Baron's going to be short here. Like, Tezia's got 11 swords. Baron cannot catch.
Nope.
So, I still have no idea what's about to happen. Rory's going to win this. But outside of that, I have no clue what's about to happen here. Tezia might win this and get to 9. That might be good. Baron is going to be disgusted when he sees Tezia's intrigues, by the way.
Yeah, it's hard to plan around them having this exact combination of a ton of daggers, man.
And Ilban just grabs spice. There's nothing else for him to do. It's been, I mean, Ilban not finding Lady Jessica at the bottom of their deck has proved so costly here. You cannot believe it.
Unfortunately, the luck caught up with them at the end.
Unbelievable. Roma reveals and buys nothing. Baron's out. And they're going to see that Ilban can't buy Spice Must Flow. And they were like, oh my goodness.
Oh, absolutely brutal.
And they're going to realize he's gone. Yeah, they can't believe it. Didn't have it.
Oh, man.
No, they're out. So here we go. You're going to see a ton of intrigues fly here. But Tezia's going to take this down. Is going to trash. So I think, if my maths is correct, we'll have to see endgame intrigues could still be effective. Baron can still get some endgame points. But Tezia's going to get to 9 here with the victory. Raw's going to sit at 10. And Badger is going to need, I think, plans within plans. Almost specifically to win this. Absolute carnage. Absolute carnage, this.
Interesting they took the bump down with the Emperor and not the Guild.
I mean, yeah, well, I guess they
probably doesn't matter.
They're not even looking at spacing right now.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
He does not want to use Tiebreaker.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to use it, but he has no choice. But its problem is, if he doesn't use Tiebreaker and he finds like an endgame card that gives him a point, like, he's good.
Yeah,
he has to use it.
Know. They could
and he's going to see war chest. He's going to be like,
yeah.
he's going to, what am I meant to do? Brutal. Absolutely brutal for Badger. So here we go. Yeah, he can't believe it. So it's endgames.
Very well played by Badger. Unfortunate how it turned out, but that was the
he did everything.
That was the combination they needed.
He found the move. So it's endgames. Yeah. It's final stuff here. Badger gets 1 draw of the intrigue deck. Can he find plans and save his game? He doesn't, and that's it. It's over.
Yep.
That is so brutal real brutal for Badger. Unbelievable. So Roma wins a dramatic contest and finds a win from kind of nowhere to steal it. Tezzy holds on for second place. Badger and Fweak are out. What a crazy, crazy round. Badger did everything possible. And there it was. Disgusting. Let's go have a chat with the players. So, this may or may not come as much consolation, but that's probably one of the best rounds Dune Imperium you probably had all tournament. That was an incredible round. Everything happened. Unbelievable.
My God.
Unbelievable.
I totally agreed.
Unbelievable. I mean,
I can't believe Yellow didn't have his Jessica. That was his very last card.
yeah, he was in loads of
Yeah.
rounds, finds 2 points, couldn't get either of them, which was crazy. And then the Alliance still here. The insane thing is, if Badger steals the spacing, the game goes on, but you couldn't have known that because, of course, Ilban scores 2.
Yeah.
Complete
There's no
insanity.
way. I thought for sure that this game was ending.
Complete insanity at the end as well. I mean, I feel so sorry for you, Badger. Like, you played absolutely amazing this game. This last round was like incredible. But I mean, what do you do?
Yeah, that was the exact sequence you needed to hit. Yeah, it's tough. I think in your shoes, I'm also going after yellow there. There's no way to know. Like, there's a much higher chance that red can't afford the Spice Slow than yellow can with how many cards they had, and they had Jessica. Just I don't know. Tough break.
Yeah, it's
Even with
yeah,
holo
that's-
projectors too.
that is
Like, I was
ridiculous.
thinking, I mean, I noticed Red bought like a shit ton of liaisons too, so I wasn't doubting him, especially because he had holo projectors still up too. So I think it was either way.
Yeah, I just bought holo projectors that turn, this
Yeah.
turn, yeah. So I was like, I wanted to go here first, but I didn't draw yellow first turn,
Nope.
sadly. But whatever.
Even
Oh,
so,
yeah.
like going for the Emperor for the
Yeah.
extra troops too.
Yeah.
Like that's the other part of it for deciding which one to go for.
Sorry, Badger, go on.
No, just it's a tough game, and I've said this before that you can play well. Sometimes you can play bad, and sometimes it just comes down to intrigues. And I thought I did everything there to try and push myself over the line, but I wasn't banking on 3 combat intrigues.
No, that's
coming out of
brutal.
Roma,
That
so-
is so.
Yeah,
You're
for
like.
sure.
I mean, what do you? There's nothing you could do about that. Like, you made. I don't think anyone watching this will look at what you did and say you did anything wrong. Like, I think everyone. I mean, honest, I don't even think some people find like we were looking at the Dreadnought shuttle fleet at the end. We're like, oh my god, there is you can actually get the steal off here, and I don't think some people would have seen that. So I mean, and to be honest, like the way you've played so far over the course of this competition, like has been amazing. You've played so well. I think a lot of people watching this will be sad to see you step out of this, but I think maybe some of the players might be slightly glad. But.
I honestly, I don't even think I deserve to win this one. I think I played early game really sloppily and like mid game too.
Yeah.
Like
I got completely
I
screwed
don't-
that
I
second,
don't think
second
I
last
should've.
round. I had the 6th round drawing hand. If you guys watch the replay and that,
Oh,
look at my
yeah.
hand and go,
Yeah,
oh my god,
yeah.
that guy just went out because of a draw, not because of anything he's done wrong. And that happens.
Yeah.
I mean, what you draw, the intrigues you get, even the alliances people can take. And I took Fweak out. I didn't mean to take him out, but I just looked at the situation and I thought, you know what, he's probably more likely to come over top of me than what a Raw would.
Yeah.
So you just got to make those calls, and sometimes it doesn't go your way.
Yeah, no, I mean, 100%. I think Fweak is. I mean, like, how Fweak doesn't get a Spice of Flow that is insane. He found out the only hand combination where he couldn't. So it's like, what do you do? But there's the weird thing. Funny enough, it's like when you get a smaller deck like this, sometimes really weird things do happen. Just because you've got like a 9 or 10 card deck doesn't mean you're guaranteed to find what you need. Sometimes it just comes in a weird order, and yeah, a lot of crazies happened this round. But I mean, it was a great game. Everyone played, I think, great. And that's the thing. When it comes now, I think the margins are going to be so small in so many of these games that these little things that happen are going to have so much more of an effect than they would have done previously. Which I think is probably a testament just to the quality of the players that are playing in the first place. But no, it's been a great game. Congrats to Raw for Raw as well. Like fun, but we suddenly looked at this bit of Raw. I was like, oh my god, he's gonna end the game. Signet Ring. I mean, Lido's Signet Ring twice, just wrecking havoc. It shows you the power of it.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Yeah, we're talking about Ilban's like chances the whole time. We're pretty much just ignoring Roar's entire setup, and then we're like, oh,
Oh,
game's
Raws gonna
actually
end the
gonna end
game
this round.
Because we were thinking like if the game goes on another round, what happens? It's probably good for Baron, but I mean, yeah, just the Signet Ring is so destructive when they can get to shipping. It's so gross. So Roma goes for Raw goes through. Roma will obviously have to see in the second place. But yeah, a classic round of Doom there. I think everyone can feel pretty happy. It sucks as an organizer to sit here and know people that's the end of their competitions. But yeah, Badger, you've played so well this competition. Like, people have been legitimately scared to play you. And that tells its own story.
Oh man, I'm just here for the friends and the entertainment, and I hope we've made some friends, and I hope I've entertained people. So we've got 2 thumbs up on that. It's been a pleasure to be here, and I look forward to the next tournament.
Definitely, man. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much. So, if you thought the round of 14 was full of good, crazy action, apparently you've not seen anything yet. What a crazy way to kick off the quarterfinals here for this tournament. It's just... the action just continues, and you can barely take a breath watching half of this. An insane round of action here in this last one. Everyone has all sorts of options. Again, it sucks to see Badger go out here, but I don't think he did really anything wrong. I think he made the right move. How Tessie has 3 battle intrigues is pretty disgusting. If he wins the combat, he's good. But I mean, sometimes it just isn't your day. But again, as I said in the chat, like, Badger has been one of the standout players of this entire competition, and he can hold his head high. And anyone that draws him any future groups of the competition will not be happy about that. And that is a compliment to his skill that he has shown over this tournament. Fweak as well, brutally kind of taken out the end there. Although I think as it exactly worked out, if it had gone for, well, we don't know. If it had gone for Leaders Alliance, we'd go another round. And, well, we would have gone another round. And then, who knows what would have happened next. We'll never know. And maybe that's one of the beauties of this game. The fact that we will never know what would have happened if they'd taken Leaders Alliance and we'd gone one more round. Who knows? What a game. Thank you for watching, everyone. If you like what we do, you can follow the channel. You can support us here at Hidden Assets. I've got a Ko-Fi in the link below. I need to lie down. Take care, everyone. We'll see you in the next conflict.